actually think about let go and lead in the context of running such a large enterprise?
Well, let me be very, very honest here. It was never in my career path to be a dean. It was not a club that I wanted to belong to. I'm very happy doing my own things, being a researcher, had a chair, had a very nice, peaceful existence. And I had no idea how the job would be redefined. Eventually, I think I have redefined the job as being someone who is an academic entrepreneur. It's like the director of an orchestra. You have fantastic players, and you have to organize them. You may see something that the other people don't see. You put the pieces, you create something. You create like little companies. But in some cases, at the beginning, it may well be that you're in front. But at some point, if what you're doing is going to be successful, you have to put yourself behind. I think someone else said this. It's like being a shepherd. You don't lead from the front, you are in the back. And if you don't put yourself in the back, then what you are doing is not going to be successful, because it requires you always be putting energy to make this go. But if something is going to exist before you cease to be there, you have to kind of put yourself in the background. So I think this applies to organizations or structures or groups that are forming. It may well be that you are the person who has the concept of creating something. It's absolutely essential that at some point you detach yourself from that and you stay in the background and you have other people leading it. Because if you constantly have to be pumping energy for something to exist and depends completely on you, then by definition you have failed.
Talk a little bit more about that. What, by definition, you failed because why?
Because it will not live without you. You want the things to live without you. And sometimes I have been surprised on how an idea has been taken. It's like having a lit match and someone comes with a forest fire. The idea grows, expands, morphs, and you are surprised. This really exceeded my thinking. Sometimes, no, the idea kind of just dies. And in those cases, you have to recognize quickly when it's time to let something go. But the idea of putting yourself in the back, I think is really, really important.